So let us start our new chapter, triangles, chapter number 7. Now we have already learned in our primary classes for triangle ABC. This is the way how we denote triangle ABC. The three sides are AB, BC and CA. The three angles are angle A, angle B and angle C. Same way the three vertices are, so vertex A, vertex B and vertex C. So these are the three vertices, these are three angles and these are the three sides of triangles. Now before going to congruent triangles, first we will learn about the property of congruence, or we can say we will learn about congruent figures. So suppose I am talking about two circles. If these two circles have same radius, so then we can say the two circles are congruent circle. If I have two equilateral triangles of the same measure, 1 unit, so these two triangles are also called to be congruent triangles. Similarly, if you have two squares again with the same measure of the sides, then we can say the two squares are also congruent figures. So this is the concept of congruent figures. Now we shall learn in detail what is actually congruent triangles, how we can say the triangles are congruent. Now suppose we have triangle ABC and triangle PQR. If I need to prove that triangle ABC and PQR are congruent triangle, so according to the definition of congruence, its each corresponding side should be equal in measure. That means length of side AB should be equal to length of side PQ. Length of side BC should be equal to length of side QR. Similarly, AC should be equal to PR. That means this is condition number 1. The measurement of each side should be equal. In the same way, each corresponding angle also should be equal in measure. That means angle A should be congruent to angle P. This is the sign of congruence. Angle B is congruent to angle Q. Again, I will teach you what is the meaning of congruent. Two angles are congruent, that means their measures are equal. And similarly, the last one, angle C, is congruent to angle R. So this is condition number 2. So these are the two conditions which says that if these 6 things, that is 3 sides are equal in measure and 3 angles are also equal in measure, that means they are congruent. So finally we can say that triangle ABC is congruent to triangle PQR. But it is not necessary every time the same angles are congruent. So we have 6 1-to-1 correspondences. So which are those 6 1-to-1 correspondences? Please see. Now you can see here I have written 6 correspondences. Out of these 6, any one can be correct. That means if you have two equilateral triangles of exactly same measurement, then all 6 are true. But here, if you have any scalene triangle, so out of these 6 correspondences, you can see ABC corresponds to PQR, ABC corresponds to PRQ, ABC corresponds to QPR, ABC corresponds to QRP, ABC corresponds to RQP, and the last one, ABC corresponds to RPQ. Now suppose if I say this correspondence, ABC corresponds to RQP, is a congruence. If it is given in the question that this particular correspondence is a congruence, so what it means is angle A will be congruent to angle R, angle B will be congruent to angle Q, angle C will be congruent to angle P. You can see I have taken the first letter here, so A with the first letter here R, B is with Q and C is with P. Similarly, if I talk about sides, if I take first two letters AB, so it will be equal to RQ. So the measurement of AB will be equal to RQ, BC will be equal to QP and AC will be equal to RP. So this is true if the given correspondence is a congruence. Then I can write triangle ABC is congruent to triangle RQP. Here I cannot write PQR. It has to be written specifically which correspondence is a congruence, and according to that we will get the result. Now suppose if I ask you that triangle FDE is congruent to triangle YXZ. So can you tell me which is the corresponding angle for F? So yes, the corresponding angle of F is Y, the first letter here. Same way the corresponding angle for angle D is X and corresponding angle for angle E is Z. Similarly, FD and XY are the corresponding sides. DE and XZ also will be the corresponding sides, and FE is a corresponding side to YZ. Okay, so we are using a result called to be CPCT. Okay, this is actually corresponding parts of congruent triangles. Okay, so by CPCT, angle F and angle Y are equal in measure, that is by corresponding parts of congruent triangles. Now let us see the first axiom here, axiom number 7.1, which is SAS rule. SAS stands for side angle side. Now according to SAS rule, the statement is two triangles can be congruent. We can have two triangles congruent. Why? When you have two sides and the included angle of one triangle equal to the two sides and the included angle of the second triangle. That means suppose somebody is asking you if side OA is equal to OB and OD is equal to OC. Please see carefully. For any triangle, okay, AOD, we have two triangles, triangle AOD and triangle BOC. Please see carefully. OA and OB are equal. OA is the side of the first triangle, OB is the side of the second triangle. Similarly, OD and OC are equal, right? Now you can see OA and OD, which letter is common? O. So angle O is the included angle. So we can say angle O is congruent to O, or you can say in proper way angle AOD is equal to angle BOC or COB. That is one and the same. Now let us try to draw this figure so you'll understand. So first of all, you have OA is equal to OB. So OA and OB are equal. Similarly, OD, so this can be OD, is equal to OC, right? So these two sides are also equal. Even angle AOD is equal to angle COB or BOC. So we have two triangles in which two sides and the included angle are equal in measures. And so by SAS rule we can say triangle AOD is congruent to. Now here we have a question mark, what to write, whether to write BOC or COB. So remember that angle O is with O, so in the middle we will get O. Now if O is with O, so A will be with obviously B. Okay, so A is with B and D will be left out with C. So we got triangle AOD is congruent to triangle BOC. This is your axiom number 1. Now this thing you need to remember, this is a note. SAS rule exists, but we don't have any rule called to be ASS or SSA, right? So now we shall come to the next is theorem number 7.1, which is actually ASA congruence rule. Okay, ASA, that means angle side angle. So the statement of this theorem is two triangles are congruent. They will be congruent if two angles and the included side of one triangle are equal to two angles and the included side of another triangle. Okay, so there are suppose two triangles, okay, and if you have two angles and the included side, let me tell you what do you mean by two angles and included side. Suppose this is triangle ABC, we are talking about angle B and angle C are the two angles, so this side BC will be considered to be included side. Similarly, if you have another triangle to be DEF, right, so the two angles here are angle E and angle F, and the included side will be side EF. Okay, so for the given figure, we have two triangles ABC and triangle DEF. It's already given in the data, it's given in the question, angle B is having the same measure as angle E. Similarly, angle C is equal to angle F, and the included side BC and EF are also equal. So this we will take as result number 1. We need to prove that these two triangles are similar. So we will consider three cases here. So case number 1, if I take AB and DE are equal. Okay, so if I take AB and DE are equal, angle B is already equal to angle E. This is by result number 1, and BC is equal to EF. Now you can see this is side, then again you have one included angle and again a side. So by SAS rule, SAS you must be remembering, that is axiom number 7.1. So by axiom 7.1, triangle ABC is congruent to triangle DEF. Now the real thing starts with case 2. In case 2, let us suppose AB is greater than DE. So if AB is greater, so suppose AB is bigger here and DE is smaller, so we will get a point P. Okay, let us take a point P in such a way that PBC, okay, this PB should be equal to DE. Already we have angle B and angle E are equal, angle C and angle F are also equal, and BC is equal to EF. It is already given in the question. Okay, but here we have taken PB is equal to DE. So we will first write, let's take a point P on line segment AB. So I have written the steps. Let's take a point P on line segment AB such that PB and DE are equal. Now for triangle PBC and DEF, first of all this we have supposed okay, PP and DE are equal. Number 2, angle B, that means whether I call it to be angle ABC or PBC, the meaning is same, is equal to angle E. So angle B and E are equal. Then you have BC is equal to EF. So again you have side, angle, side. So again by axiom number 7.1, or you can say by SAS rule, triangle PBC is congruent to triangle DEF, right? Now if triangle PBC and triangle DEF are congruent, so again by CPCT means corresponding parts of congruent triangle. So angle PCB means angle C will be equal to angle DFE, that means angle F. But what was given in the data, if you remember, by result number 1 I told you this angle F DFE was actually equal to angle ACB. Okay, so here I will be writing angle ACB. Okay, so can you see these both results? Okay, the right hand side is same. Angle PCB is equal to angle DFE as well as angle ACB is equal to angle DFE. This shows that angle PCB is equal to angle ACB. Okay, this is only possible. These two angles you can see are on the same line. How can I say PCB and ACB are equal? Because P and A are both on the same side of line segment BC. It's not like that P is over here. I'm not talking about this kind of angle. This is ACB and this is PCB, so they can have equal measure. No, this is not the figure. As we have P and A on the same side, so this kind of statement is only possible, PCB is equal to ACB is only possible if P coincides with A. Okay, and if B coincides with A, that means BA will be equal to DE, and thus it is proved. In place of triangle PBC, I can replace it by A, and so triangle ABC is congruent to triangle DEF. Similarly, we have case number 3. In case number 3, if you have AB is lesser than DE, then also the same result. You don't have to give the full proof. We can also have the same kind of figure, ABC here, and this time you can take DE bigger. So you can get another point M on DE such that AB will be equal to ME, and whole process will be repeated. So you don't have to write whole thing. You can just write, okay, even if you have AB is less than DE, then also the same result, triangle ABC is congruent to triangle DEF is proved, and hence the result is proved. So we have a corollary, or we can say a small criterion, a result for it, okay, for theorem number 7.1, that is AAS, angle side. Okay, so it says that for two triangles, suppose you have two triangles, okay, so these two triangles ABC and PQR will be congruent if any two pair of angles, suppose if I say angle B and angle Q are equal, C is equal to angle R, okay, and one pair of the corresponding side, any side I can take. So suppose I'm taking AC, so if it is equal to PR, I'm not talking about included side, right? So here we have two angles and one side are equal to two angles and one side of another triangle, and so by AAS congruence rule, triangle ABC will be congruent to triangle PQR, and hence the result is proved.